You guys, this is the first show that I've done all by myself. And so this is going to be very interactive. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts and your comments and just see what your thoughts and experiences are with some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. I recently have an opportunity to sit down with one of the greats in network marketing and direct sales. His name was Eric Worre. Some of you have probably heard of Eric Worre. Eric has been a guru. He's put on the GoPro conference for years. And he has trained and coached hundreds of thousands of leaders in the direct sales channel. And he just recently came out with a new book called Pro Code. We had him in here in the offices a couple of weeks ago, and I had an opportunity to hear from him, but also interact with him one-on-one and talk with him a little bit about some of the experiences that we've had in direct sales and network marketing over the last at least 20 or 30 years. And I want to talk about some of these principles that we learned about, that we talked about, because I think they're more applicable today. And some of you guys that have been around for a long time, these principles might sound familiar. And you might think, oh my gosh, we don't even talk about this anymore. So I want you to stay tuned. I want you to listen in and then I want to get some dialogue going in the comments just to hear your thoughts on some of these principles. So let's jump right in. Before we do that, one of the things that he said when he first came here is he said, Nu Skin is a pillar of network marketing. Nu Skin is a pillar of direct sales. Like one of the darling companies when it comes to direct sales. And we've got to make sure that Nu Skin is healthy and kept precious for all companies because we're like a beacon of hope. And you see some of the stats on here. We've talked about these on the New Vision call that we've had every single month, but 41-year legacy going on 42. We're approaching 2,000 Circle of Excellence achievers, $22 billion paid in commissions over the 41 years. In innovation, we invest 3% in innovation every single year. 3% of our revenue, that's hundreds of millions of dollars, are going into innovation every single year. No other company does that. Not only that, where we have been so blessed, we're also giving back in an incredible way, approaching 1 billion meals that we have paid forward in Nourish the Children. And we've got leadership, internal and external, with our field and with leadership here at corporate that believes in the brand, that believes in the mission of helping people look, feel, and live better and empowering people to be a force for good. So let's talk about what is winning. When we look at across the board, what is winning, and guys, I'm not seeing my slides anymore. There's a handful of things that that he said is winning. And I thought about, oh my gosh, it's been a while since we've talked about some of these things. So the first thing he said was the focus on the story, simplicity. Now, this resonated with me because I've seen different organizations, different teams, different countries around the world that are winning, different leadership around the world that are winning when they get hyper-focused. So you guys have all heard the story about Argentina. Argentina is focused on collagen, specifically powdered collagen and the Lumi Spa. And that becomes the story. I did a study a handful of months ago, earlier in the year, when I reached out to all the regional presidents and the sales teams across the globe, and I asked them to tell me a little bit about, I did a survey of all of the leaders in every market that is growing. And I found out that these leaders, these organizations, they focus on 1, 2, maybe 3 products. So they have a focused story. And when they have a focused story, that allows them to have a simple onboarding program to help everybody get started in a much simpler way. It was fascinating. And Eric Worre says this is the exact same thing that we find in direct sales. Focus on that story. Focus on a product. Focus on how you're helping people find our product, have success, and get started in the business. So focus is the very first principle. Number 2, well, this goes along with the focus. I recently was listening to this book that was written, I think it was in the 90s. Jack Trout is a longtime branding guru, wrote this book with Al Reese called Positioning. I was listening to a podcast where they talked about this book being one of the premier books that everybody should be reading, especially they were saying in Silicon Valley, for understanding marketing. And as I was listening to this book, it was so incredible and applicable to what we're doing at Nu Skin about getting crystal clear about who we're trying to talk to, who our demographic is, who our audience is. And that even means for you guys. When you try to sell to everybody, you sell to nobody. You need to be crystal clear about who your audience is and understanding who their needs are, what their pain points are, and what the solution to those pain points are. The more crystal clear you get, the better all of your messaging gets, the better all of your presentations get, your social posts, your conversations, better understanding their obstacles, and the easier it is to be able to help them get started with Nu Skin. So I love this quote that says, the basic goal of positioning is not to create something new and different, but to connect your product or service meaningfully to the mental perceptions that already exist in the mind of the prospective customer. And the more you hone in on that specific niche or demographic, the better you will be able to understand the mind of that customer and speak specifically to their needs. Now, here's what I want to ask you guys in the comments. Who is that demographic that you're speaking to? Who is that individual? What does that avatar look like? And get very specific about it. I want to know if you guys have gotten that clarity on positioning for your audience. And while you're putting this in the comments, I'm just going to tell you a quick story. I was just at a conference or a leadership conference with one of our teams that was out in Atlanta last weekend. Oh, Patricia says postmenopausal women. I love that, Patricia. And that is a demographic that has very specific needs that, especially if you understand them, you can speak very specifically to them. But here I was in Atlanta at this conference, and they were talking specifically. One of the individuals said, the moment that I, in my social post, started speaking to a specific person, so she was speaking to a specific person. She could see the individuals in her that were following her and interacting and watching her stories. When she started speaking to a specific person that was in her stories, that's when she started getting the conversions and started having the conversations. See, other people said empty nesters, grandmas. Oh, and I love that. Constance says women in the trenches of perimenopause. Absolutely. Stella Lee says 50 plus above, keen on staying healthy and longevity. Yes, and understanding their needs of 50 plus of why they're trying to stay healthy and improve longevity. Christy Momberg says postmenopause and perimenopause. You guys, I'm seeing a trend here that we've got a lot of people, especially those that are tuning in, are focused on postmenopause, perimenopause, and menopause as the major theme that we're focused on. Mo says women over 50, seniors who want to live healthy and longer. Let's see, Charla says ditto. I imagine you're saying the menopause. Kingbird Group says 50 to 70, women, men, relatively healthy, fit, but want to maintain health to have a healthy aging. I love that, you guys. And I'm seeing a theme here. Christy Malmberg says, I had less symptoms due to our products. Okay, that is great. So if you are understanding the demographics specifically, what are their needs, what are their pain points, and you can speak very, very specifically to them, you're going to have more success in being able to meet their concerns. Okay, simplicity is winning. And this kind of goes back to the conversation about product, okay, or making sure that you're focused. But because, and I guess, it says down there, product focus is winning. The more focused that you can be on the specific product, and that doesn't mean that once you get somebody in that you're not going to introduce them to other products within the Nu Skin portfolio. But when you focus on a specific product, it allows you to really understand and get knowledgeable about that specific product. You understand the product information page, but more importantly, as we talked about earlier, you understand the psychology of the individual that you're speaking to and how this product matches the psychology and the needs of that person. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What is the one product that you focus on? Maybe two, but what is the one product that you're focused on in your business that helps add in that simplicity and that helps people get started more easily in their business? Okay, so I'm seeing some of these roll in. We've got collagen right now. Rhonda says collagen. Mo says Prism. We've got Mallory that says collagen and Lumi. Let's see. New Biome. Alyssa says New Biome, which is a fantastic product, Alyssa. Collagen and Life Pack. Collagen, New Biome. New Biome and collagen. Lumi Spa, collagen, New Biome. Prism and assessments. Prism, Life Pack. Life Pack Youth. Are you guys seeing a trend here with this as well? At least with the individuals that are on with us. Oh, Constant, you pulled up Constance pulled up a curveball here with Astera Phase 2, Collagen, New Biome. So I'm seeing that there's probably 5 or 6 products that the majority of you guys are focused on. And when we go back to what you were saying in terms of who our demographic is, if you're talking about perimenopause and menopause and 50 plus, these are the products that you would absolutely want to be focused on to make sure that people are having their needs met or being able to look, feel, and live better longer. Mo says we need Astera in Canada. Stay tuned, Mo. We're working on something, but again, with Canada FDA, it's going to take us some time to get it registered there. Okay, Charlie says Lumi, collagen, New Biome. Okay, let's jump to the next thing that's winning. The best trained teams are winning. Is that come at any surprise? The best trained teams are winning? I don't think so. Now, here was the thing that as I was talking with Eric and as I read his brand new book, one of the principles in this book that I was just like, oh my gosh, we used to teach and train this in direct sales, in network marketing. And even, I imagine before I came at New Skin, we used to teach and train this. And yes, it goes into people, teams need to know how to sell, how to sponsor, how to retain, how to duplicate, how to lead. But at the fundamental level, a brand new person that has no confidence in the business model, no confidence in our comp plan, no confidence, maybe they've got a little bit of confidence in the products, but they're not sure about this whole thing. The thing that they need to be trained on more than anything else is how to invite. They need to know how to invite people. And because they don't have that knowledge, they need to invite people to hear from people that do. Back in the day, many of you guys were with us when Nathan Ricks was here. Nathan Ricks was the demonstration. Nathan Ricks was the presentation. And the principle that we taught every individual was how to invite to hear Nathan Ricks or Jeff Mack or somebody else that was doing the presentation. And that principle of how to invite is still alive and true today. In fact, some of you guys that are on the call today are probably incredibly knowledgeable, incredibly confident in our business model, in our compensation plan, and in our products. And what you need to do is fill up your calendar with individuals that are inviting people to meet with you so that you could, that confidence comes through. And guess what? As you're helping them, whether it's with a 3-way call or a person-to-person or in a 3-way chat or on a Zoom, whatever it is, when you're talking through these things, when you have the confidence and you know how to overcome objections and you know how to talk about the answers to their problems and needs, that individual that is inviting, they're learning from you. They're hearing it. And eventually, as they're hearing it and learning from you, they will be able to do it as well. But that's the process of them understanding how to speak intelligently and confidently about New Skin products, our business, and how people can be confident with what they're doing here with our business opportunity. Okay. How many of you guys are teaching? I'm curious. How many of you guys are teaching brand new affiliates the skill of how to invite? And as leaders, are you creating assets or opportunities for these brand new affiliates to invite to? Are you doing monthly business presentations? Do you have a video that explains really quickly what you and the team do, what the business looks like, the product that you're focusing on? Do you have some of those assets in place that is just about inviting? Because if we make it that simple for brand new people, we're empowering one of the biggest demographics of affiliates that we have in our field to help them have success quickly. All of the other stuff. So, how to sell, how to sponsor, how to retain, that comes. And you've got to make sure that that training is in place, because nobody comes into Nu Skin with a degree in direct sales or network marketing or multi-level marketing. They don't. This isn't taught in elementary, junior high, high school. It's not taught in college, anywhere. It's taught in the business. And if you're a leader and you're not teaching these principles, we're not allowing people to have the best opportunity to be successful with Nu Skin. So the best trained teams are winning, and that's an absolute truth. Next, follow-up is winning. I'm curious, how many of you guys follow up with customers or people that you spoke with about the business that may have said no the first time? I want to see, and what is your system for following up? I've heard systems like 222. You follow up 2 days after you get someone. You follow up 2 weeks, and then you follow up 2 months. I've also followed up 7, 14, 21, 30. So in that first month, you've got 4 touches to these brand new people that follow up. Some people, they're saying, okay, I've got this cadence in place. And what I do is I just put in, every time I sell a product, I put on my calendar, a digital calendar, reminders on each one of those days that I need to follow up. Some of you guys, it might be a written calendar that you're writing their information on the written calendar to follow up. Some of you might have spreadsheets. But I want to hear in the comments, how many of you have a system for following up with, Mo said it could be subscriptions. It could be with people about the business. It could be with existing customers. So what I'm seeing in the comments is, Martha says, yes, but not enough. Mallory says, fortune is in the follow-up. 100%, Mallory. The follow-up generates revenue and sales, and those are the easiest sales that we will ever get in this channel. Alyssa says, always, the fortune is in the follow-up. Christina says, yes, but not consistent. Mo says, yes, follow-up has gotten much better, getting way more subs and add-ons when following up. Yeah. So we mentioned in here, Martha says, yes, with M5. I've seen M5, and the follow-up in M5 is tremendous, okay? Whatever that system is, you need to be following up. Now, when you're following up, there's a lot of things that you could be asking about, okay? So let's walk through some of these specifically with a customer. Do you guys remember I think it was over a month ago, we had Stephen Moore on. And he talked about one customer that he got in the business early when he became an affiliate with Nu Skin. And that customer has generated tens of thousands of dollars in volume for him over the years from just that one customer. And this is the magic of helping customers become loyal within the business. So I love it because Mo triggered a thought where she said, I'm getting lots of subs. John says there, always follow up 3 to 6 times a year for every sub. Done this for 30 years. John, I love that. But the truth is, when you get a customer that places an order, you should follow up. You should follow up to make sure that they unboxed it, they opened it, they're actually using it, they know the best practices on how to use it. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you should follow up and find out how their experience is, if they're enjoying it, if they're seeing results. 3, you should follow up after 30 days to see if they want to get on subscription. If you're not asking for it, you're not going to get it. It's not magic that somebody's going to turn around to you and say, hey, you know what? I really like this product. Can you put me on a subscription? This gives you an opportunity to share with them a way for them to save money and get rewards for being on subscription at Nu Skin. and talk about the ease of it. It just comes every single month. Okay. Number 4 that you can talk about when you're following up. You can ask for referrals. Okay. Some people call them shout outs. If somebody's having a good experience with a product, they're more likely to say, absolutely, I will do a shout out for you. Number 5, and probably the most important thing that you can ask for when following up, hey, you should do this with me. You can make X dollars on every single one of these products that you're selling. You should do this with me. Talk about the business with them. Because if they're having a good experience, their trust in you is going up. And through years of studying this, we found that those individuals that have higher levels of trust in you, in the products, and in the brand are more likely to say yes about the business. So those are 5 things that you can follow up with customers about. What about the business? Do you guys follow up with those individuals that tell you no about the business? I want to see in the comments, do you follow up with those individuals that tell you no about the business? Let's see. Mallory says, I use the words, if I don't offer you, I'm doing a disservice. Awesome. I love that, Mallory. Charla says, when I have a customer that has an order the same product 3 times, I offer the subscription. Charla, I would even encourage you, do it more often. Get more people on subscription earlier. I'm telling you that they're there. They will do it. We just have to ask. Okay. Teresa says, I haven't followed up with those individuals about the business. Let's see. Charla says, yes, sir, or she says, yes, sir, we'll do about following up with them more about the subscription. But you guys, one of the hardest things that we do at New Skin, and some of you probably have grown thick-skinned or you've learned how to embrace the no, but it's asking about the business. And oftentimes so because it's such a scary thing and people if they get a no, they're like, oh no, they retreat and they're done. And they're like, great, never again. I'm not going back to that person. That is the weirdest thing that you could ever do because you likely have some sort of relationship with this person, whether they're a customer or they're a family or a friend or they're an acquaintance. And the moment that they tell you no and you retreat and you never talk to them again, that just tells them, man, they were only in this for the business. That's it. And there's a reason this is called network marketing, okay? There's a reason, the follow-up, the reason that this works is because this differentiates us from any other channel out there. You don't go into Costco and buy something and they follow up with you in 2 weeks to see how you're liking that specific product. You don't go to Sephora and buy some anti-aging product, take it home, and they follow up with you in 30 days to see if you want to get another one. They don't. Companies don't do that. We do that. We build relationships. And so even with the business, which is a product in and of itself, if we offer that product and they say no, why are we cutting off that relationship? That should be the start. That shouldn't be the end. That should be the start. And if we are cutting it off, man, you guys, that is the weirdest thing you could do because we're building networks, we're building trust, we're building relationships. In fact, at the core of everything that we do is being friends, creating relationships and stronger relationships with more people across the world. And the better you get at that, and without ulterior motives, the better you get at building relationships, I'm telling you, your business flourishes. Whether it's on social media or in person, the better you get at having conversations, the better you get at getting to know somebody and building those relationships of trust. It's not only going to bless you in the business, it's going to bless your life across the board. In fact, there was a study done at Harvard, longevity. It was the longest study ever done. And they tracked throughout decades these individuals that were graduate students all the way until they died. In fact, the individuals that were running the study died and had to pass it on to the next generation to be able to continue with the study. And what they found, one of the major findings in the study was that the number of strong relationships that they had was a pure indicator of happiness and satisfaction in life. And if you go down the path of that understanding and that principle, then network marketers, direct sellers should be the happiest people on the planet because we should be building the strongest relationships across the globe. Does that make sense? Let me know what you think about that in the comments, because we need to be the ones that are building strong relationships with anyone, everyone, starting conversations with anyone, anywhere. Okay, enough said on this. Have a system, follow up, make sure you're talking about this with your brand new people that are getting started, but follow up with customers, including the people that you've talked with about the business. Okay, I need a quick drink. Okay, let's jump into quantity. Quantity is working. You guys, if you've found that your business is stagnant, that if you've been stagnant for months or years because you're getting caught in this activity loop and you're doing the same activities every single month at the same time. If you want to take your business to the next level, jump up the activities for a period of time. It could be 30 days. It could be 60 days. But if you increase the number of conversations that you're having, you will increase the number of customers that you have come in the business. You will increase the number of affiliates that you have joining you. Okay, so quantity works. The best example I have of this is, I can't remember the book. It might have been, I don't think it was Essentialism. I think it was the Habit, the Habit book. One of you guys might have read this. If you have, please let me know in the comments. There was a study done. It was a photography class at a high school. And one class they told for the final, I want you to turn in one picture. You're only going to be graded on one picture the entire year. So you better take the best photo and turn that in. Okay? To another class, they said, we want you to take as many photos as you possibly can. The more, the merrier. You turn in the most photos, you're going to get the best grade. So it was basically quality over quantity. Which one of those do you think worked? Which one of those do you think turned in the best quality? Well, it turns out that those individuals that were stressing about the quality, they had subpar photography that they turned in. Those that were open and taking pictures of anything and everything at the end of the class had the best. Oh, yes, it was Atomic Habits. Thank you, Charla. They had the best photos and multiples of the best photos. And from this, the quantity helps get the quality. In fact, if you guys are involved or you track sports, college sports, they often talk about the individuals, the first strings, they are going to get the most reps. They are going to get the most repetitions. In practice, in games, they're getting the most repetitions. And when they get the most repetitions, they become the better player. Okay? It's all about the repetitions. And so for you and in your business, if you want to increase the flow of customers and increase the flow of affiliates joining you, it's not about changing the quality that you're focused on, but increasing the quantity. And by increasing the quantity, you will get the quality, okay? Let's jump into the next one, 90-day run. So this is where, if you want to take your business to the next level, focus on 90 days, okay? A couple of years ago, my wife, she, instead of doing a full year New Year's resolution, and having a list of New Year's resolutions, she did 30-day resolutions. And she said, every month for the year, I'm going to focus on a specific habit or skill, and I'm going to do it every single day, and I am going to do it and get really focused on that for the 30 days. And she did. And by the end of the year, she had 12 skills, 12 principles, 12 characteristics that she had improved in because she focused on them for 30 days. Okay? It's no different with our business. If you want to jump your business up, you've got to focus on it for 30, 60, 90 days. And I promise you, if you do that, if you increase the selling, the sponsoring, and the duplicating in your business for a specific time frame, you will grow. You will get better. Christy says, that helped me do my push-ups. Absolutely. I'm seeing right now Wendy White, if you guys follow her on Instagram. she's focused physically on doing a dead hang. And I can't remember the amount of time, the minutes that her goal is, but every single day she's posting a video of her doing a dead hang and trying to stay on as long as she possibly can. Okay, next slide. Local events. Guys, this is something we have absolutely been missing out on, is local events. When the pandemic hit, we are all like, oh, we don't do these anymore. We build a business online. But again, the differentiator in our society today, with everything that's online, with artificial intelligence coming up, people are craving human interaction more than ever before. Get together with your team. Get together with your customers. Get together with prospective customers, prospective affiliates. Do trainings in person. Do opportunity presentations. Do it informally, like talk about how you can earn income from home. Give something. Be the leader that is giving your team something to invite to. And if you're like, oh, my leader's not doing it, do it yourself. Okay? Start putting together these types of interactions, local events. Put together something at your home, a spa night at your home. Years ago, the thing that grew this business was half-face demos, and people were doing half-face demos in homes. Do things like that. Invite people over. Let them experience the Renew Spa, the Lumi Spa, our products, Pillow Glow, whatever it is. Invite them over so they can experience the products, and you have an opportunity to tell them about why you love this business and why you love these products. You guys, don't be afraid. Overcome the fear. Step into the discomfort. Yeah, Constance says parties are back in. Let's see. Din says we did yesterday a spa party in Reston, Virginia. Din, that is fantastic. The more of those that we do, the more culture that we're building. Not only that, but I mean, if you're taking photos and you're posting that on social media, people are looking for these types of communities. They want to be a part of them. When I was at that conference in Atlanta, one gal right there in the middle of this conference said that somebody had joined her or messaged her saying, I want in, just by seeing the photos of all the individuals, the ladies that were there together. So get together. Be consistent with it. Be timely with it. Make sure that people have something to invite to, but something that they can count on in their schedules. Yeah, Jeff says the ultimate way to do attraction marketing. Okay, you guys. How many of you recognize this machine or this brand right here? Well, the brand is probably really, really antiquated. But Singer is this is the brand that created the modern day sewing machine. It was Isaac Singer, and this was back in 1850. And he was kind of a mechanically inclined individual, and he saw the sewing machines that they had, and he made a couple of adjustments to it, patented it, and came out with this sewing machine. First, he added that pedal that you see there that ran the machine. The other thing that he added was the little foot on the machine that allowed the fabric to stay flat. And he added the hole that created the seam at the very end of the needle. Okay? And as that needle would go down, it would then create that seam, and so you could sew. Do you guys know that you're going to kill me for even asking this question? Do you know the demographic that the sewing machine was made for? Some of you guys are going to be like, Buck, you're so freaking sexist. It was made for men, okay? Because the people, yes, Rhonda, the people that actually sewed when the sewing machine first came out, it was men. They were the tailors. Okay, but Singer saw that there were women all across the globe that wanted to have something that they could do at home. So what he did is he did a huge marketing campaign that had never been done before, marketing the sewing machine to women. And the price for the sewing machine, $100. Now, if you look at $100 in 1850 and compare it to what it is now, I want to say it was $3,400, $3,400 in today's dollars. They had to buy into this business. They had to see a vision, think, oh man, I could have a business at home. I could be a tailor at home. I could fix things at home. for individuals. And so they'd make an investment. And Singer was one of the first companies that actually offered to allow people to buy on credit and to make payments. And because of their focus on a demographic, because of their focus on helping people with the business opportunity, because people were hungry for that opportunity, they could see that this was a true opportunity, and they weren't shy about it. They were talking about it. Singer became at the time, one of the biggest brands across the globe. And even here today, hundreds of years later, we all know Singer. We all know them. I mean, some of us might have a Singer sewing machine in our home, but definitely not what it was, in the 80s or 90s. But we know the brand. You guys, I tell you this because when we as a company, when we as individuals, when you as business owners, when you as the executives of your business, when you get focused on the demographic that you're going after, when you understand their needs and their pain points, when you're focused on the relationships and you're building up those relationships on a regular basis, you're not focused about what's in it for me. You're not making it awkward. When you're focused on the individual and making sure that you have that relationship for the rest of your life, man, can you imagine if we thought about when we were selling a product, if we thought, man, I want this person at my funeral someday. If we thought about that longevity, okay, if we thought about that, and if we started adding in more of the human connection through in-person events, through training our teams, making sure that they were the best trained teams across the globe. Guys, we got really focused. We added in more activities than ever. I'm telling you, businesses would take off. The growth that you've been wanting in your business, you will experience. I promise you. Get focused. Focus on the relationship. Follow up. Be in person. Increase the quantity. And when we do this, you guys, there's nothing stopping you and your team from driving your business forward, especially in the second half of the year. So with that, you guys, it's been a pleasure to be your individual host, no guest today, and just talk through some of these principles that I learned with my conversation with Eric Worre. Let me know in the comments what you've learned or one of the major takeaways that you got from this call today. But reach out to me. I want to know from you individually, what are some of the things that you would like us to focus on this call? And who are some of the future guests that you would like us to have? We've had Joe Chang, we've had our scientists. We've also had different sales and business leaders from the channel talking about specific skills and principles that they teach within their organization. If there's something that you want to know more about, I would love to hear it and we can bring them on. So with that, you guys, have an amazing weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your time together, but get ready on Monday. I want you to focus, get out there, focus on the relationships, follow up, and build this business like never before. With that, you guys, have an incredible weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.